Ja, und ich bin's wieder, Kesunai Haram, hier mit meinem Let's Play von Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Und ja, wir haben uns gerade die Überwachungskamera hier angeguckt, um nur zu hoffen, dass es irgendetwas gibt, was darauf deutet, dass der gute Captain getötet wurde, bevor Diplom angekommen ist, um sich den Orca anzugucken. Und jetzt haben wir was gefunden. In the footage we see nothing important. We can see nothing of importance in that footage. Just as I thought. Ha ha ha! You're right about that. That section was completely meaningless. It doesn't show a thing. That's why it didn't submit it as evidence. Aber, jetzt kommt das Aber. No, it's just the opposite. Huh? What do you mean by that? In this 10 minutes of footage, something important that should be there isn't there. Detective Fulbright, this footage should have been submitted as evidence. What? Why are you questioning the way I carry out my duty to justice? Mr. Wright, explain yourself, please! What is this important thing that you saw should be in footage, but isn't? Ist das denn nicht offensichtlich? Moment, jetzt muss ich das nur noch finden. Hier! Die Leiche! Die Leiche hätte da sein müssen! The important thing we should see in the photo is the victim himself. Jack Shipley. I don't know about you, but I didn't see him get in the pool in that footage. Ooh! Oh, that's right! If the victim is not shown entering the pool in this footage, it means that he must have been there by the skull rock during those 10 minutes. But no human being can hold their breath underwater for that long. Wait a minute, are you saying? When the security camera started up at 10 AM, the victim was already dead. What? Ha! Gegeben! Sieh mal, du Spast! Oder eine Kurt! Zitronenbonbon! Das hatte ich schon lange nicht mehr! If that's the case, then when was the victim murdered? I don't know, Your Honor, but we know it had have been some time before 10 AM. Therefore, this footage can no longer be called decisive evidence against my client. But there's no one else who could have killed the victim. Not necessarily. The defense believes that the true culprit may have been human. And we have evidence to back up our theory as well. Do you know? I would be very interested in seeing this evidence. The defense trump card. That thing we found during our investigation yesterday. It wouldn't go so far as to call it decisive, but now's the time to play it. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please submit your evidence. What evidence shows that a crime may have been committed by a human? Das wäre, ja, die 300 Münzen im Sack. What's this? A coin? Yes, a fake coin used in the aquarium's pirate show. We found it beside the pool. This coin is quite possible the real murder weapon. This tiny little coin is the murder weapon? Mr. Wright, if that's another one of your bluffs! As they say, the bolder the presentation, the less confident the solicitor. This is no bluff, and this isn't the only coin. There are 300 of these coins altogether, weighing a total of about 7 pounds. This one just happens to have blood on it. Did you have the blood analyzed to see whose it is? Not yet. But there were coins scattered all around the body and the victim had a head wound. Taking these things into account, I believe it has to be the victim's blood. So, to put it together, we have about 7 pounds of coins by the side of the pool. One of them with a blood stain on it. I think the answer is pretty clear here. Your Honor! The defense proposed that the victim was killed beside the pool. The beside of the pool! But if the murder took place there, it would be difficult to say the orca did it! I realize you are trying to defend your client, but that theory is preposterous. How could 300 coins possibly be made to hit someone all at once? It'd be pretty easy if they were in a bag or something of that nature. And so where is this bag the coins were in? Unfortunately, Your Honor, we recovered nothing of the sort from the scene. It's possible the culprit took it with them. They took it? The true culprit used the coins as a blunt instrument to commit the murder. They then threw the body into the pool before the security camera started up. And then they left taking the bag the coins were in with them. They got rid of the evidence that points to a human culprit to pin the blame on Orla. That was brilliant, Mr. Wright! You found a way to introduce the possibility of a human perpetrator. Yes, somehow. Let's hope my luck holds out. I wonder why Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't said anything. The possibility of a perpetrator other than the defendant has now been suggested. But if we hold this possibility to be true, then what did Mr. Plume witness? That's right. I saw the killer while it attacked the victim. Just like it did a year ago, singing a song. I guess there's still that. Even with somebody else as the culprit, Orla's behavior still seemed pretty bizarre. Entschuldigung. I wonder why did she was doing the same thing she did a year ago? But are they really that bizarre? What do you mean? To explain the inexplicable, all we have to do is turn our thinking around. Turn our thinking around, huh? Sounds good to me. Time to give the old turning my thinking around method a try. Instead of trying to figure out why Orla did the same thing she did a year ago, I should consider the results that were produced by her behavior this time around. Orla sang a song, did some headbutts, and bit the victim. If the real culprit wanted to shift the suspicion onto Orla, then they would need to give people a reason to think Orla did it in the first place. Mr. Wright, as our lawyer, how do you explain your client's actions? I believe we should think of it in this way, Your Honor. What kind of effect did Orla's action have on the case? Very well, then why don't you explain it to the court? How did the defendant's action affect the case? Ist ja wohl klar. Um einen Zeugen zu erschaffen, in diesem Fall Norma de Plume. Mr. Plume focused her attention on the orca pool because she heard the song. The orca's act of singing a song created a witness. Created a witness? Isn't it possible that fabricating a witness was her real culprit's true intention? After all, Mr. Plume witnessed two things. She saw Orla headbutt something over and over, and she saw the orca bite the victim. Those two actions of Orla might have been the real culprit's plot to make the witness think the orca was attacking the victim. Are you saying the defendant was being manipulated by the true perpetrator? Exactly. And that would explain Orla's actions perfectly. But the defendant is an orca! Is it even possible to manipulate her? Yes, there is a way to manipulate Orla's behavior. With this. Ja, die Pfeife, wenn man die Kommandos kennt. Is this a whistle? Yes, Your Honor. Trainers at the aquarium use whistles to issue commands to Orla. But it's true, anyone can do it, provided they know the right signals. Oh, that must be how they get Ola to do tricks for their pirate shows! The true culprit hid the body in a spot that could be seen from the visitor's corridor. Then, when Mr. Plume appeared, they gave Ola the comments. In other words, Ola was manipulated by the culprit to perform a series of tricks. What? And as for you, Mr. Plume, you were manipulated by the true culprit to play the part of the witness. Norma de Plume, was set up? Norma de Plume, writer extraordinaire, was used? No! Mr. Plume, please do something about your tire! There was one wardrobe malfunction I did not want to say. It would appear we need to shift our suspicion towards someone other than Ola. Prosecutor Blackwell, please have the blood state coin analyzed. You waste your breath. I guess even Prosecutor Blackwell can't refute the possibility of a human suspect. You did it, boss! If the crime happened beside the pool, there's no way an orca could have done it! Now, if only we could find the bag the coins were in. In light of the new discovery, it would appear that the orca couldn't have done it! Exactly, Your Honor. If the blood on the coin proves to be that of the victim, we can unequivocally overturn Ola's accusation.
Objection!
Oh nein! Overturn the defendant's accusations? I think not. Ah! My hair! My beautiful hair! Yesterday, a new inmate was brought into the prison. He said, the moment you relax is when you're most vulnerable. And what did this man go in for? He's merely a sneaky thief who enjoys a spot of fishing now and again. But Wright Dono here would be easier to hook than any fish. Der Tag sure does love the judge's head. Wenn's bequem ist. What's this? That coin from before and some sort of bag? A bag? I don't think I'm gonna like this. This is the coin bag the 300 coins were in. I believe you were looking for this. How did you get that? I never said we didn't find it at the crime scene. The bag had blood on it, so naturally I had it sent to the crime lab. And? Does the blood belong to the victim? It does indeed, as does the blood on the coin. I knew it! So the blood on the coin did belong to the victim! The bag was open and the coins had all spilled out. But the bag alone wasn't proof enough to say that it was used as the murder weapon. However, thanks to the defense and their coin, I'm more than satisfied that it was. Prosecutor Blackwell! Are you conceding that the true culprit committed the murder with the bag of coins? I shall concede that the victim was put into the pool after his death. However, even with the bag, it doesn't change the fact that it was the orca that killed the victim. What? How can you still suspect Ola? You said that the true culprit manipulated Ola's behavior. But Ola isn't the kind of orca that would let someone control her. If anything, Ola used the victim's behavior against him to murder him. What? But... Are you arguing that your orca manipulated a human being? To prove it, I have summoned another witness. Marlon Rhymes. Take the stand. Marlon Rhymes? Is a witness? Marlon, what are you doing? Well, don't just stand there. State your name. I told you I didn't want to be a witness. I thought one witness would be quite enough to prove the defendant's guilt. But apparently, Wright Dono won't be satisfied until every stone is turned. Well, son of a... Alright, fine. I forgot to talk, then let's get it over with. Mr. Rhymes doesn't seem like a willing witness. I wonder what prosecutor Blackwell is going to have him testify about. So could we have your name and occupation after the record witness? Ahoy! Yo, 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 ho, ho, ho! People of the law, time to testify! Chilling with my crew at the shape, Orcas, penguins, and the seascape. Leading and feeding, there ain't no end. But them bratty kids' tours, I shall stand. Yo, animal keeper from the House of Rhymes. I'm the master keeper of Marlon with the Rhymes. Okay, ich werde langsam besser mit dem Rappen, oder? Oh my, I'm afraid I couldn't understand a word you said. Is that flip-flop music young people nowadays like? Es heißt Hip-Hop. Hip-Hop. So close, Your Honor. So close, and yet so far. Please proceed with testimony, witness, without the flip-flop. Okay, fine. But I don't want to do this to tell you. I feel like I'm selling Sasha out. Okay. Please. At about 10 AM, I was in the staff room. I heard a loud noise from the pool room, so I went to the door to look in. I couldn't see the captain or the orca, but I saw a bunch of coins scattered around. The orca knows there's a certain spot people stand to play volleyball with her. I think maybe she knocked down the stuff that was piled up there and hit the captain. So that gives us a little more info about the area around the orca pool. The defendant made the stuff fall down? Overturned crates and assorted props were scattered all over the pool room floor. There's no doubt that it was the orca that caused the mess. But could we have done that from within the pool? As I said, the orca is the only one that could perform such a feat. The pool and its rooms were tidied the night before, including its various odds and ends. But when you're rhyming more than checking on the scene, over 400 pounds of props had fallen. To move it all in one go would change even the brownie prisoner in the cell next to mine. What is he? The jail gossip? So, how did 400 pounds of items fall all at once? I'll tell you how. The orca pulled on the cloth that was underneath them. A weight that would be all but impossible for a human to move. Was child's play to an orca. During a friendly game of volleyball, the defendant made the crates fall, and the bag of coins that was among the items fell on the victim's head and killed him. The orca then toyed with the victims underwater, which is what Mr. Plume saw. Objection! But the witness only said he heard a loud noise. That doesn't automatically make it the sound of Orla making the items fall. Also, why did you only look in on the pool room anyway, Mr. Rhymes?
That Orca sometimes make a loud noise to summon her trainer. But I'm still a newbie, so I don't have a security card to get into the pool room yet. So even if she tried to summon somebody, there isn't much I can do about it. I see! So the witness couldn't enter the crime scene!
Objection!
If Mr. Rhymes couldn't enter the room, there's at least one thing he can't be sure about. His statement that the orca was playing volleyball is purely speculation.
Silence!
Whether the orca was actually playing volleyball or not is not the issue. Traces of the orca's saliva were found on the cloth that was underneath the crates. The important point is that the orca is the only one that could have moved the items.
I have to discredit that statement somehow. If I don't, it means that Orla was the culprit, even if the victim died beside the pool. Und dieses Kreuzverhör treten wir im nächsten Part an. Egal ob positiv oder negativ, Bewertung immer gern gesehen. Das war's von meiner Seite. Wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder. Sehr geil.